Hello and welcome back to the modern day of this channel, I guess. I've returned, as said in some recent replay commentaries. I took a 2-week break from League and currently 1 whole week away from streaming, meaning I'll be back to streaming in a week's time. 2 weeks off of League, 2 weeks off of streaming, kind of separately-ish. If you've been keeping up with the streams, then you'll know. If not, which is actually most of you, then now you know. Brilliant intro. Okay, so this is my first game back of Thresh top. It's normal draft because I'd be insane to go straight into solo queue, and it's not normal. And I'll tell you that straight up. This is not a normal game. This is not a good display of AD Thresh's power, unless you just want to see kind of what he can do when he's fed. But this is, I guess the matchup, the very uncommon matchup. Thank you for the follow. I forgot to turn those off, but thank you all the same. I guess I'll just leave them on, so more of you remember that I'm a streamer too. You don't have to watch that, it's fine. So, it's a very uncommon matchup of Thresh top versus Pyke top with exhaust. Bit strange, but there's not much that Pyke can do in this situation, and you'll see which. If you are a Pyke main or a Pyke one trick and you want to say how you tackle the Thresh top if you were for some reason playing Pyke top, then be sure to write it down in the comments below. I'm sure it'd be great. Now, I saw some disappointment in one of the recent replay commentaries when I said that I took off my soundboard stuff when I speed things up, because this is what happens when I speed up. This is what happens when I slow down. Okay, I'll turn it off. Oh no. That's what would happen though, now you know. Sorry to disappoint you. So what just happens there is I just slap him as soon as possible. He walks up for a cheeky little, what was that, an auto attack? The last hit was 102. And he's got Hail of Blade, so as long as he doesn't hit me a second or third time, he basically doesn't have a keystone, which is really nice. Same as if I don't use Grasp, but I do. I get very aggressive. He uses his hook, which he took first, which is interesting. But I get level 2, and then that's when I can just go, hey, I have a hook too. And he doesn't seem to react to my hook because I walk into the bush. He thinks I'm like chasing or whatever. And then he does a hook here, and my flames come back up, and you can interrupt the channel of Pyke's hook with either our Thresh's CCs. There's some pings up top lane. I don't know who's doing that, but I do know that Talia, at some point in the game, as you'll see in the all chat, doesn't like Pyke. At least I think all chat is still part of replays. I hope it is. But with that, shove up the tower because he doesn't have teleport. He'll get some of it, but he's still stuck up there, and I don't have the teleport, meaning it's up, ready for bot lane. And whenever that happens, if it does, spoiler. There is also a time where I could have teleported, but for the most part of this game, I didn't need teleport at all. I could have taken Ignite, could have taken Exhaust, I could have taken Clairvoyance, which isn't even in the game anymore, but, you know, would have been all the same. I think I used teleport once in the entire game, actually. As I said, there was a time I could have used it, but I wasn't paying attention. I'm rusty, it's fine. And also, you could debate whether I should have used it in the first place, really, because those souls in top lane do look yummy. Okay, so he lands a hook, which he was very happy to land, just for it to be his Hail of Blaze hits to be kind of tanked by my W shield and my, well, just tanked through Lifesteal with Grasp. Now, the fun thing is, if we do look at my runes, can we? Be able to see? Yes, we can. You can see that I've actually got Conditioning and Overgrowth, because I didn't think I'd be fighting Pyke top of all things. I thought I'd be having to sustain or scale against a Rise or something. So I didn't take Bone Plating. So we'd win this matchup even harder if I had any kind of early game runes, but I don't. All I've got is the Grasp. Also, my last hitting isn't the best, but we'll just put that aside for now, because why farm minions when you can farm champions? Don't take that as actual advice, by the way. A lot of people kind of getting mad at me recently because they keep finding Threshes in their games, and those Threshes aren't very good. If you're interested in seeing perhaps some counterplay to Thresh, or some ideas for counterplay, or rather, things that you can do with a Thresh on your team in the top lane, then please do comment below, as it is a topic I'm fairly interested in. So he did this thing where he hooked his cannon minion and he wanted to get it safely, so I just walked up and told him no. No, you can't. And then he dies, and then it's great. He still has flash up. He didn't actually try to activate it. Maybe he didn't think I'd hurt him that bad. As I said, this game isn't quite normal, but it is what it is. Push up, get an entire tower plate with Demolish. Very good rune for top lane, especially when you know you're going to win. Otherwise, you can try taking whatever the other one is. Not Font of Life. The one that is not Font of Life. I don't remember what it is. Shield Bash. Yeah, it's not bad on Thresh. Not bad on Thresh at all. Okay, so Lucian has gone right into their jungle and he's currently chasing a Ryze, and I think this is where this whole skerfuffle comes up, because then Pyke starts going down and I see that, you know, they're close enough to mid lane, they'll be fine. But now that I can actually see what's going on, because I wasn't paying attention really, they get a kill on Ryze and then they run off. And I was wondering how Talia got the kill here, because I saw Shyvana was quite safe. Pyke is stealthing, she ults, and oh no. So she was safe and then she walks up. And then after Shyvana dies, Lucian's like, hey, Thresh, you should have teleported. To be fair, if they were so extended, there was a chance that I could have pushed them, or that I could have saved Shyvana's life by making them not dive so deep. But more than likely, these two mobile champions would outrun me. Teleport or not. Even with like home guards, wouldn't work. And then I'd just be wasting teleport and losing souls. So I'm going to say I shouldn't have teleported. Maybe if I teleported earlier, then we could have stopped a lot more happening. Maybe Lucian wouldn't die. He was kind of done though. He took that Talia Q, and I doubt Talia would be too afraid of a teleport that takes like 3 seconds. In any case, Talia now camps the top lane, and I try to do my best to pretend I don't know she's there, and it's actually pretty cool. Lucian starts coming up, and then he stops when he realizes there is vision on the crab. I just poke Pyke, and I'm trying to ish bait him with the idea that he can maybe stun me. He keeps using his Q on minions and stuff, and I miss cannons and whatever. And this is when I just decide, okay, booga booga time. And get a big kind of, I guess, damage lead by bursting the Talia. I get exhausted, and Pyke is doing his best with his Halo Blades and 2 longswords to hurt me. The Dark Harvest proc from Talia, kind of scary. I go in the bush so he doesn't know quite where I am. I swear he could have ulted me sooner, but he didn't. In any case, knock him back and do, I guess, burst damage in the bush while waiting on the E cooldown. But it was a fun little gamble. Although Talia was low, if we had flash, we'd definitely kill Talia, but because we don't and she plays behind the minions, we can't go for hook either. That gets me Tiamat, which I've decided is fine because now we want to push Pyke. We don't want to freeze all the time anymore. We can actually start being much more aggressive and hopefully attracting Talia up to top lane, maybe some other people as well. And even though they don't need it, it would take some attention away from our bot lane, who are currently snowballing out of control, by the way. So Pyke goes for a cheeky little engage here, and we kind of walk, exchanging auto attacks at the same speed, which is quite fun. And then I interrupt his Q channel once again with a flay, but this time by killing him. Talia walks in, she surfs in a bit, and then I pretend to run away, walk back in, miss a hook, which is kind of sad, but she goes really close for her Q just to make it hit. And then we just slap her a bunch. Just kind of walk aside, kind of iffy hitbox on that last stone, but it's fine. Now at this point, we see Shyvana coming around through the tri-bush, so I pretend to recall, which does inspire her to throw a worked ground Q, sorry. Not comfortable with the dive with our level of health, so I just throw a lantern. She's like, nah, I'm going for the kill. And she does yeet the Talia, and Talia yeets her back, and I'm stopped by a wall, so I can't do anything. And this is when Talia all chats. Let's see if it comes up. Oh wait, no, she doesn't yet. So Pyke decides he's going to kill me because I'm low, and then he kind of charges into the box, and then it's a bit sad, and he dies. There it is. She never finishes the sentence, actually, but you know, you don't report for that. Doesn't matter if they're Pyke tar. Doesn't matter if they're Darius tar. People have bad games. I have bad games. Technically, with the amount of CS I've missed, this is kind of a bad game. Even if I am being spoon-fed Pykes, which in any other context would sound terrible. But that's just how it is. So after the kind of first 15 minutes, the game kind of devolves into a shamble. As you can see, we're 19-8, over double their kills right now. It's kind of a funny thing, because I tell Lucian that Pyke is coming, and he regards pushing up to the tower to be the right play because Pyke was level 8, and then Talia also comes because that's a possibility, and then he dies, and then apparently it's my fault. Or rather, it's not my fault, but it's not... He was really trying to, I guess, downplay Pyke. We get the top to it. Pyke ends up dying to Shyvana, so that's nice. And Ryze comes up to the challenge, and I'm too busy telling Lucian to shut up, which you shouldn't do. And then land a nice little hook around the cannon minion. Which, to be honest, I'm a little surprised it actually worked. I imagined that as soon as I pressed the R and committed, that it would just magnetize to the cannon as it tends to do at the worst possible times. But he tries to get out with the ultimate and it doesn't work, and he is a bit behind. He does have a Neverfrost, he does have damage, but I have the almighty Titanic Hydra. Easily one of the best items for a Thresh top to have. Even though it's not a mythic. Similar case to Urgot. Although Urgot has the added bonus of having a W. I get hooked and it's a little scary because it's close to the tower. And I don't know quite how much burst damage they're going to be capable of in Sona here, and I'm assuming everyone. So I do flash out and it does help us out with Lucian able to protect the Lantern. But being tanky and ahead, I can kind of frontline very well. Try and cause some traps here. Samira goes around the edge. Hook into the fog of war, and that's a dead Samira. I swear in the actual game she says, honestly Lantern man, after I land the hook and hook over. But it is what it is. By the way, I only disabled the aforementioned sound effects for you, so if this is still coming through OBS, then that's going to be hilarious. Chase down the Sona. And I stay around because Pyke is coming up for a juicy kill. But he will not actually go for it. Finally, 17 minutes in, after perhaps my 10th Dragon Ping, we do actually get it. I guess we're too busy farming champions to worry about things like dragons and objectives, so that's fine. Funny little thing here where Samira thinks she's safe, and I'm guessing she wanted to W my Q if she had it up, but I was in fog of war, she couldn't see it. Bad timing, so she just kind of dies. Very nice to kill Samira. Not going to claim that they're a very good Samira because we don't know. You can't tell if someone's good or bad off one game anyway. Like, Pyke could just be tilted off his mind and is actually really good outside of this. And he just wanted a fun game of Pyke top that ends up getting kind of decimated. And then talks probably a lot of bad manners on their team as well. I can't say because we can't see team chat and replays, but, you know. All sorts of reasons someone could play bad. You don't blame them for that. Maybe in the moment, kind of like rage. Yeah, that's fine. But as long as you're not actually telling them. Get a hook on the Sona. It's very squishy. And I do a cryo play right there. Which isn't very good. I do tank for a little bit, but apparently Senna didn't know that I was leaving the tower and she does walk under and give a shit out to Sona, but that's fine. I'm gonna get the tower with Demolish and then walk back. Playing to get maybe a Lantern out to someone. But end up getting the low health Pyke instead with a single auto attack after he tries to kill Kai'Sa. I'm trying to get the Talia to like chase me into the bush, but the health is actually kind of low. She does do a little combo here. The Dark Harvest does go off, but it's not enough. So I do go very close to dying here. I didn't hook because we don't have vision of the bush, and so we don't know which direction she's going to juke, and then it's less than a 50-50 really. I teleport top to kill Rise, but he teleports away using his actual summoner spell. That was pretty fun. And he teleported straight to base and bought an Archangel. It's not that it will help him very much. If only it still had a shield, he maybe would survive a little bit longer in some of these fights. With my team causing havoc and also dying because it is team deathmatch at this point. Speaking of which, those of you that do watch the stream know that I play Variety a lot. Oh yeah, Pyke dies, you know, it's just nothing. Yeah, it's generic at this point. But those of you that watch the streams know that I do play a bit of Variety, and some of you might have seen TF2 content popping up on YouTube, and the pizza thing about Tekken. You can find them on the channel if you like, if you haven't seen them yet. But interesting side note, there was a funny update for Quake 1 of all games, and I've been having a lot of fun with that. So one of our first kind of Variety bits on the stream is going to be that. Can't see Rise's health right now, but it's pretty high. As soon as we get that, I didn't actually check for Kai'Sa's ult before I decided to do this. She didn't have it, but it was more than enough for me to just kind of CC him down and then for Kai'Sa to finish them off. Kai'Sa's very fed at this point. She's even playing Lethality, the Collector, I'm guessing. Yeah, definitely. Talia, I think Astro 1v1. I didn't quite catch this in the game. I would have probably told them to do it because it would be fun, but that would also be dragging the game out. Currently 9-0-10, by the way. We buy Wit's End because the enemy is majority magic damage. Their ADs aren't exactly fed at all, so nothing to worry about there. Talia is their main concern. Do a bit of an idiot play, but couldn't get out of that in any case. If I played him towards me, I would have probably been able to kill him or somehow follow up. But I don't, so that's on me. We are coming near the end of the replay, but they have... Because we keep dying out of silly things like Shyvana right now, he decides to 1v4. Just doing fun things. I like how Kai'Sa actually picks up that I'm trying to bait over the wall, so she just starts dancing in the enemy vision. Sona thinks that she's allowed to be near me, so she just kind of dies. As Lucian props up for the last hits as well, and this is when I miss a hook, and that's going to be the last thing you remember from this game, because it's about to end. Just forget everything else I did. That miss hook is definitely the pinnacle of gameplay. Gonna get rid of the score display, not because I'm ashamed, but because it's kind of in the way. But yeah, 53 to 18. This is not ranked. I've said it at the start. But I'm sure I'll get one of those comments that's like, haha, normal game, stupid content. You fake that. Fresh Top is good. I don't know. People are weird. Comments are weird. Lucian does a bit of BM, which is not very nice, but you know, it's whatever. And that's the end of the game. Very strange one indeed. As you can see, the enemy scores aren't very good. Talia did try, but ultimately ends up dying a lot as well. And I died never. I'm the only person in the game that didn't die ever. And it's very nice. This build is still functional, of course it is, and it's a lot of fun. Highly recommend to try it if you haven't. If you're interested in Fresh Top anyway. If you're not interested enough to play it, then you can certainly watch me more. You can watch me be an idiot playing Fresh Top, either live on stream, link below, or by subscribing to the channel and watching future videos. I still haven't returned to stream, so unlikely to see a live game too soon, but within a week's time, you'll see some. So hopefully you'll stay around for that. Hope you enjoyed this replay commentary. I know it's not the live stuff that we like, but whilst I am still on a break from streaming, my break from League is now over. And I was supposed to talk about that, but I didn't yet, so yeah, it's alright. It still can be a bit annoying, and I think if I could summarize, 2 weeks isn't enough of a break from League. It helped me mentally reset for these kind of solo queue games, even though I say solo queue in the literal sense. This is not ranked. This is just a solo game. And it helps reset the mental for that. But as far as playing the game for fun, it's not happening. Like for literal fun, for like dumb fun, it's not happening. I feel like you have to try hard to get the most out of League right now, and maybe with a longer break that could change. Or with the right game mode, right? One for All isn't doing it for me. Maybe just fix Nexus Splits. Also, if you'd be interested in a video that talks about making Nexus Splits a fun game mode, I'd happily do that, because I have so many ideas. Riot will never listen, but it's so close. Nexus Splits is so close to being the perfect game mode, I swear. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. See you guys in the next one. It's good to be back. Bye-bye.